What's good, y'all? Welcome back to week 2 of Revolt Sports Weekly. I am here with none other than Shari Nycole. She is a multi-hyphenate, y'all. She's a multimedia personality, a TV host, producer, and a film writer and producer. Okay, she does it all. She is also currently the co-host of the Willie Moore Jr. Show on Praise 102.5 FM, as well as the host and producer for Essence Black Women in Sports. I know that's right. Welcome to the show.
Clock it. Is that how they do it?
Clock
is it this finger or is it this finger? Did I get it right?
Listen, it's whatever finger you want it to be.
Thank you so much, Mariah. I am so excited to be with you. Congratulations. We've been doing some great things at Essence Black Women in Sports. And so to be able to bring some of that energy here, to hang out with you on the couch, I'm here for it. My IFB is falling out of my ear, but that's all right. I'm crashing the party. Let's turn up.
Let's do it. I'm so excited. So first, we're going to get into a little bit of a recap of some of the things that we talked about last week that are going on in the sports world. First and foremost, we got to take it back to football because I got to know what you think about this.
Okay.
So Micah Parsons returned to Dallas. I watched this game, and I was sick when I stayed up past midnight for a tie. Okay, the game ended in a tie, 40-40. Micah Parsons finally sacked Dak in overtime.
Yeah.
It seemed to be the only defensive play made the whole game. This is not the Cowboys team I was expecting to see. What did you think of the tie in the game?
First of all, ties are whack. No, there's no sport in the history of this world and universe, that should end in a tie, ever. So that got on my nerves. I'm still in my feelings about Micah Parsons being in Green Bay, to be quite honest with you. I think that overall, Green Bay, they didn't play the game that I felt that they should have played. And when we think about the records, we look at Dallas, like they're, give or take, like some days Dallas can show us these bright, beaming examples of greatness. And we're like, yeah, they can do it. And then the next week they play terrible. So we never know with them. It's like a toss-up. But with Green Bay, I really expected them to be more dominant, especially considering the circumstances. So for Micah Parsons to come out, we got a sack, man. But come on, you gotta get the win. To me, only thing that's sweet in that instance is victory. So, yeah.
I completely agree. I will say Dak Prescott was not looking like himself that day in a good way. I mean, he looked incredible against this defense that's supposed to be Super Bowl bound.
Yeah.
So I was proud of him. Speaking of ties being whacked, so we asked on social to the fans of Revolt Sports, do you guys think that the NFL should allow games to end in a tie? Yes or no? The answer was no. 82% of you felt like these games should end in a tie.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Listen, commissioner, NFL commissioner, you know what to do. We don't come to watch ties. It doesn't mean anything. It's a waste of time. So you sat up past midnight and watched the game for essentially no reason.
Right.
No reason. And the thing is with ties, it's difficult to compute them to me. So play until there's a clear winner and loser. That's just my opinion and the opinion of 80% of our viewers.
Right, and if you do want it to be a safety thing, then maybe after double OT,
Look, let's be real. Football in itself isn't safe. So if you're getting out on the football field, you know the risk. So you need to finish it out and somebody needs to win and somebody needs to lose.
They said 5 minutes is too much. What if somebody gets hurt? Like the whole game?
Knocking your head around is too much.
Right.
Tackling people is too much. So you all already signed up for that. So I need a winner and a loser, period.
100% agree. The next question was, did Micah make a big impact in the Dallas versus Green Bay game? Yes or no? The answer was yes, 92%. We all know that he has an impact just being out there. But
yes,
my question to you is, since we watched it for essentially no reason, because the score was the same as it was when it started, the same, right? But who should be happier with this tie?
I think the Dallas Cowboys should, because Green Bay on paper is the better team. So to your point, Micah Parsons, his presence alone on the field, he's going to make a difference. I don't think that anybody thought he'd come out and not play well, but you didn't win the game. So to me, unless he won and came out victorious, it's a disappointment. The Dallas Cowboys were not expected to win, and they ended in a tie. So to me, they played the better game. Period.
Agreed. And that was more unexpected. Them scoring 40, right. I didn't see that coming.
Because how? Because when?
Yeah, speaking of unexpected, okay, let's talk about the Giants and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Jaxson Dart got his first NFL start against the undefeated Chargers and gave them their first defeat.
Yes.
I was shocked by this. He passed for 111 yards, and despite being sacked 5 times, which, offensive line, where you at?
Nowhere.
Right. And he's a newbie. Can't y'all protect him? The team held on to beat the Chargers 21-18.
Yeah.
Did he do what everyone said he was going to do and save the head coach's job?
Why do we take one game and then make it a thing? I guess because it's sports and that's what we're supposed to do. It's one game. I wouldn't say the head coach's job was saved in this one game. I don't believe that. I think this is a good start to something that could be great, but I just need to see more games from Jaxson Dart to be able to say, yeah, he saved the day. Coaching-wise and franchise-wise.
I have the answer to your question. Why did we take one game and make it a huge deal? That's because the Giants are just going to go back to being the same old Giants we knew, and this is the only time we get to pretend like Jaxson Dart had an opportunity to save the head coach and the GM. This was a problem long before he got there. Now, my follow-up to that is you got two former QB1s sitting on the bench for Jaxson Dart.
Correct.
And he got a dub in his first game.
He did.
Bad sign. What does this mean for Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston?
It's interesting. I actually like both of them. As people, as sports personas, I should say, that's the right word. I like them in that respect. When it comes to what happens on the football field, I think it could be agreed that Russell Wilson's on the back end of his career. I don't see him moving forward as a starting quarterback. I don't care if he's with the Giants or anyone else. Jameis Winston, he's just there. He's happy to be there. I love him because he's fun. Like, he just enjoys whatever environment he's in, whatever team he's on, whatever helmet he has on. He has a good time in life. He's good from a morale standpoint to have on your team. But when we talk about longevity of a franchise, the Giants actually getting over this hump and being contenders, neither one of them work. They work somewhere on the bench where they are. So I think we're just seeing ultimately what's going to be the case with the two of them as they move forward. I wish them well. But when we look at this new generation and iteration of quarterbacks versus where they're sitting, it could be argued that this is where they're going to be as they remain in the league. Just my opinion.
Completely agree. Now moving on to the baseball world, because I spoke a little bit about this last week. We're in the postseason when it comes to baseball. And I said, can the Dodgers be who we expect them to be in October? And it seems like they can. Get out the brooms, y'all, because the Dodgers started off October strong by winning the wild card series against the Cincinnati Reds in a sweep, okay? They play the Phillies tomorrow in the National League Division Series. Let's see if the Dodgers can keep on rolling and LA can celebrate another chip.
Yeah, I want to get your opinion on this, Mariah, because I just love the swag of the Dodgers. They're a good time. I fell in love with them last year, to be honest. I'm from Chicago. I've been disappointed for many years, as in decades, outside of the Cubs winning and the White Sox once in my lifetime. But I just love the swag, and I love the postseason because anything's possible. When I think about the Phillies being paired with them, again, anything's possible. Their records are pretty parallel. So for you, take being a fan out of it. Strictly X's and O's. What does this series look like for you?
Here's my thing. The Dodgers on paper, incredible.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to see them win again, but hot, spicy hot take, which people might be shocked to hear this from me. Because I don't root for New York teams, ever.
Uh-oh.
However, imagine how sick it would be to see the New York Yankees win the World Series. That's what I want to happen, truly. That would be a legacy moment for baseball. I have a lot of family and friends that are Yankees fans. I would love to see it for them. But not only that, for the city. Yeah. The Knicks got them so hyped up and then they got disappointed. I mean, let's not even talk about the football.
As usual.
Right. So that's what I'm hoping to happen. But I agree with you. I do love the swag of the Dodgers, but I'm from ATL, so we're having it rough in the sports department right now.
I'm gonna say a prayer for all of our Atlanta sports teams.
Oh, and
they're really tussling with success. They can't seem to grasp it.
Oh, well, let's take a trip an hour and a half down the highway, 316. The drive I made to college, Georgia Bulldogs. I'm talking to you. 8 out of the 9 last matchups against Alabama, we have lost, except for the national championship. It seems that we have sold our soul for. Shari, I need you to explain to me, because as a sports fan, I've never seen anything like this. No matter how talented the Georgia Bulldogs are, they always seem to lose to Alabama.
Yeah.
Everyone told me, actually here in this beautiful studio last week when I came in and I said, I'm so nervous. I don't even want to talk about this. They said, you guys are so talented. You'll be fine. What are they, 14th? And now look at what happened. Can you explain to me, as a sports fan, a multi-hyphenate woman, what is it?
Bare bones. Some of this is mental. Because if you keep losing to the same team, then it becomes a thing in your mind. Secondly, it's about recruiting. At the end of the day, I have to say that Georgia's getting out recruited. It doesn't mean they're talented. Of course they are. But when you look at recruiting and you look at the mental block that happens when you go into a game knowing you lost, 7 out of the 8, now 8 out of the 9. Now it's a thing. Now you're treating it like the national championship as opposed to just another opportunity to go out there and play well and win a game. So I think it's a mental block, and you got to look at coaching. You do. Strategy is a part of any sport. I think some strategy needs to be shifted on Georgia's side, obviously, but at this point, y'all, just you got to recruit better.
I'm horribly, horribly offended by the fact that I have now been a Georgia Bulldog since 2018.
I'm offended for you.
And I have never seen, oh God, people are going to be mad at me for saying this. The Georgia Bulldogs have never had a relevant quarterback. Our quarterback is never the, yes, he got the ball, y'all, we good. It's never that. It's always when the defense gets back on the field, the Philadelphia Eagles beat defense.
Recruiting.
Right.
And it goes back to that.
And so I'm like, why are we such a premier school in the SEC but can't seem to get the guy in the quarterback position since Matthew Stafford? And I wasn't even thinking about college then. So it's disappointing. I'm hoping that they get it together. And Kirby Smart, I'm looking at you. Whatever you got to do next year to beat this team, because you can't let them come in your house and do that to you, y'all. That was embarrassing.
At this point, it's bigger than a national championship. Just beat Bama. Gosh darn it.
Exactly. Agreed. So let's talk a little bit about another battle. Okay, not the Battle of the South, but the Battle of California that happened last night. So we had on Thursday Night Football in Week 5. Mm-hmm. First of all of these games have been crazy already.
Yes.
I'm head whirlwind. Okay, the Rams played the 49ers. Both 3-1.
Yep.
So we knew it was going to be a battle, but it was 49ers up, tie, up. Tie, up, tie. We go to OT again. We finally got a win in OT. But my question to you is quickly, should they have kicked a field goal, or was it smart to go for it from the 11th yard line? I love asking football fans this.
I'm not mad at them playing to win. I'm mad at the call. And it's funny, when I saw Coach McVay's interview after the game, before I even saw it, I said, it's just a bad call. Dude got smacked off the line. He went nowhere. And he said it. He said, guys, it was a bad call. So I'm not mad. You play to win. Obviously, the safe bet is to go for the field goal. It puts you in a position where you might go into double overtime potentially, but I'm okay with playing to win. But why that play? Like, there was nothing about it that looked like it would work. So that's the part that confused me. I'm okay with playing to win, though.
Right. You have to be 100% sure if you're going to go for it. Another thing that happened during the Georgia game, we decided to go for it. And I'm thinking, hello, kick the field goal. I mean, if you can take the points, I feel like take the points. If it's not if you don't have the ironclad play call, just kick the field goal.
I'll say this, though, Mariah. When those competitive juices get going and that adrenaline gets going, sometimes that ego gets in there, too.
Right.
If you want to win the game and you're not necessarily thinking, let's play it safe. Sometimes people argue, don't play to lose, play to win. So when you kind of have all these things at bay, sometimes it's like, yo, let's win this game. Let's go for it. Then you look back and like, safety first. We could have just played a safe bet. So.
And in sports, people are always going to look at you sideways when it doesn't work and look at you like a hero when it does. So had they scored, we would be having a completely different conversation today.
Exactly. But I will say this. The game gave me exactly what I wanted. We had the lead changes throughout. I thought both teams were extremely poised throughout the entire game. Whoever was up, when the other team came back in and came in and tied and things like that, everybody was just the game. They let the game come to them. So I appreciated the poise and how both teams really handled the pressure. At the end, bad call is what it is.
Everybody can't win. And it was a really good sign for the 49ers who have a lot of injuries going on right now. And speaking of injuries, I mean, as if the Miami Dolphins needed any more drama. Love Island drama, as Cam Newton might call it. Let's talk about Tyreek Hill. So he was carted off the field with an apparent leg injury, and it turns out that he will most likely be out for the season and the foreseeable future. He posted that he's doing well in a hospital bed. His little post, like, everybody thank you for supporting me, whatnot. But what does this mean for the Dolphins?
Throw the season in the garbage. Throw it in the trash. It's over. Sorry. And it makes me sad because Tua fought through concussion gate only to come back, and now this is happening. I'm actually devastated for them, to be honest. I think Tyreek Hill's going to be fine. He's 31 years old. He'll recover. But, man, they have no shot, in my opinion. I hate to be negative, but I'm a realist too,
Right. And Tua, it's real, that money he's making, right? And, I mean, you can't be getting paid higher than a guy like Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And delivering donuts. It's not good. Where do you see this going for Tua? Where do you see his future going? What's his ceiling?
It's interesting you ask that question because when everything happened with the concussions last year, I really said he should hang it up. Not because he's not capable of being a great quarterback in the league, but because from a safety standpoint and a longevity standpoint beyond the field, I was just concerned, and the man has a family. So for him, I think make the most of the season, do the best you can, grow, get better. But if I'm him, I'm setting my sights on the next season after this one. I think
Right.
he's going to have, I see him at least 2-3 more years, like having this success, but his health is still a concern to me. At any point, he can get knocked on his behind again, and we're having the same conversation about concussion. So I think he needs to just play as smart as possible, but really look towards the future and helping to kind of bring along these guys so that when Tyreek's back in the lineup next year, they can really make a run for it.
It's not fun to watch as a fan.
No, it's not.
When he gets hit, it's not like, oh yes, what a good sack. Yeah,
Scary.
it's like
It's scary.
I'm nervous as a
Yes.
fan watching it.
Yes.
So I wish the best for him, but honestly, if I were him, sitting out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If this season is going to be a wash, why risk my body? Why risk my brain? It's too dangerous.
Because what is he? I'm not trying to be negative, y'all, but what is he playing for? What is the purpose at this point? Your record's already dismal. There's a lot of season left, but your star's out. I'm kind of with you on this. I know, a move like that, a lot of people would criticize and say, as an athlete, you got to get out there. You're a pro athlete. You need to play the game. But he has a different set of circumstances.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Like, would they? Because I think people would definitely understand.
Might be relieved, like, good, sit down.
Like, oh my gosh, I could stop sweating every time I watch the Dolphins play. Moving on to Philly.
Philadelphia, the good old Eagles. I love them because I'm obsessed with Jalen Hurts. But I have to ask your opinion about our dear brother, A.J. Brown. Now, A.J., it's interesting. The last few days have been pretty up and down for him. He has some discontent around his touches, which makes sense. He should be getting the ball more. But our dear brother released a tweet, and it was a scripture out of the Message Bible. And you know, when people dip into the Message Bible, they really mean business. And he said, it was out of Mark 6:11. He said, if you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. So everybody thought that was a whole thing. Oh, he's so upset. He's so mad. What is he going to do? Well, he came back 2 days later and apologized and said he was frustrated. What are your thoughts around all of these antics? Again, we know he should get more touches. I think we can agree on that. But what's your response to just how he reacted to his discontent in that moment?
You're 4-0. I mean, you're winning. Isn't that the goal in the first place?
Correct.
Y'all just won a Super Bowl. Isn't that the goal? Isn't that the goal in the first place? My thing is this. I am not a shut up and dribble or shut up and catch in this case or whatever. I am not a shut up and dribble type of fan, but my issue is there are some things that should stay within the bounds of the locker room. And with social media, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You are an athlete. You've probably had a tweet or two go viral before.
Yeah.
You knew what you were doing when you put that out. You knew exactly what you were doing. Don't say, oh, I was frustrated. I didn't know. Oh, you knew that was going to be a debate topic on TV the next day.
Yeah.
And I think that that's irresponsible. It's unfair to your teammates. It's unfair to your coaches. It's unfair to the culture in the locker room when you are winning. Mm-hmm. And it's immature. I thought it was ridiculous. And my thing is, if you are going to take your discontent out into the public, it needs to be in regards to losing.
Okay.
We saw Asia Wilson say, if you're not embarrassed, don't come back to the locker room.
Yeah.
And what they do, they won 17 games straight.
Absolutely.
It works in that case. We saw Angel Reese. I thought she was right to say, I'm very unhappy because we are losing.
Right.
We are out of the playoffs for the second time. That's when you get to go into the public and complain. Say whatever you want. 4-0.
Not even with Bible scriptures, though. He came in very holy to try to throw a tantrum. You
I
don't,
love
you don't
the
believe in
Lord.
holy tantrums?
I think that made it worse. I'm not going to lie. Why you bring the Lord into this? Leave him out. Why are you bringing the Lord into this? He probably up there being like, don't send that tweet. he's ignoring his intuition. No, I think that makes it worse because you're using scripture to be hateful and spiteful and as a little knife against your own teammates. No, I thought it was dead wrong.
You know what's crazy, too? Saquon isn't having that breakout year that he had last year either. And so people are kind of waiting for him to come out of the woods a bit as well. So he's not really saying much right now. So it kind of makes AJ look a little weird. Because to your point, you're winning, and your boy over here who had a breakout year last year is kind of just chilling right now. So I'm with you on that. And I know our viewers said 60% of you have the Philadelphia Eagles better than the Bills. They're both undefeated. What say you to that, Mariah? I'm interested in your opinion.
Oh my gosh, the Bills scare me. I'm not a
They
Philly
scare me
fan, but they
too.
scare me. I mean, I wouldn't bet against Josh Allen on my best day, on my luckiest day. However, I just feel like people are waiting for the Eagles to lose. It's
Mm.
this weird thing with Jalen. Is he good enough to this? Is he good enough to that? I mean, yeah, he's
Clearly
proven
he
it.
is.
Yeah,
He's a Super Bowl champ.
why are we still having this Saquon's not having the year he had last year. Oh, AJ Brown is so miserable. They're 4-0.
But they come with a little drama all the time.
Right,
So
all
I
the
think I
time.
think that's to your point. I got the Bills over them in this instance because it's less drama. And I feel like the Bills, they have this chip on their shoulder, this underdog chip, which is weird because they're one of the better teams in the league, but they kind of stay under the radar and they attack when attacked. I got the Bills, and I love the Eagles because again, if Jalen Hurts wasn't married, he'd be my husband. Okay? But I got the Bills. I got the Bills.
I hear you on that. I'll take the Eagles and their luck to continue. However, the reason the Bills are slept on or irrelevant is because of their playoff doom. Patrick Mahomes, I'm looking at you. Now, let's go around the world, just like the NFL. Y'all, the NFL is looking to expand into other countries, get to know the game around the world. It's beautiful because, basketball is a global game. Football doesn't have that. It's America's game. But they're taking it on tour. We've already seen games in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Dublin, Ireland, 3 consecutive weeks in London, England, Berlin, Germany, Madrid, Spain. Listen, we asked y'all what country you think the NFL needs to go to next. And the most sad answer was Ghana.
Here for it.
Where do you think the NFL needs to go next?
Down to the motherland. Go to Ghana. I'm not even mad. Go to South Africa too. It can be argued because the diversity in the NFL, they don't necessarily mesh well. But this would be a good opportunity for them to extend the olive branch and say, hey guys, we're an inclusive organization. Plus, it's a full-blown party. The vibes would be crazy. People go to Ghana all the time. It's huge as we move into the new year. I just feel like it would be dope. So shout out to everybody who said Ghana, but I'm here for it. Go to the motherland. I think it would be unlike any other place.
Yeah.
You can go to South Africa, you can go to Ghana, go to Kenya. I don't care. Go get the vibes.
And my thing is the halftime show. It's such an opportunity to get those fans that aren't that interested in American football, but will tune in for the halftime show to watch. They had Karol G perform in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it broke a record on YouTube TV. People were really watching for her.
Yeah.
Imagine the halftime show.
It would be crazy.
In Africa.
It would be crazy. It needs to happen.
I need that.
And then for some people that have not been tuned into the NFL for quite some time, i.e. Colin Kaepernick, maybe they'll tune in this time. You'll get some viewers back. How about that?
Amen. Amen. It's surprising that that's an issue. But speaking of diversity and the NFL and global halftime shows, all of that, Bad Bunny will be your headliner.
Yes.
He is doing one show in the United States of America, and it is the Super Bowl halftime show. We need to welcome in our guest to weigh in on this because I'm so excited to get another perspective because I have so much to say about this. But I would like to welcome Ivy Rivera. She is a creative force rooted in culture, community, and connection. A Brooklyn-born storyteller, Ivy serves as the creative producer for The Angie Martinez Show, and she hosts her own radio show and leads Ivy Social, her event brand that crafts unforgettable experiences. As Hennessy's New York cultural ambassador, she bridges brands to the people who shape the world. Ivy's mission is simple: build spaces where stories are heard, communities are seen, and culture thrives. Ivy, welcome to the show.
Ivy!
Thank you for having me. Hey, y'all.
What's up, sis?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Shout out to technology.
Welcome
Thank you
to
for
the
having
show.
me.
Yes, thank you for coming. We have to hear your thoughts on this Bad Bunny halftime show.
I mean, what a time to be Puerto Rican, right? It's been insane. His residency alone has made such a statement, restoring some of Puerto Rico's debt, the live stream breaking records with like over 1 billion viewers in one time. Like, he is such a reflection of audacity and perseverance and standing for something that, to be on America's biggest stage is applaudable. I'm so excited for this performance. He's been so embraced by the culture, and I know that we've seen, a few mixed reviews, but it's just such a moment for Puerto Ricans because it has gone from local to global. So it's great. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, you talk about mixed reviews, Ivy, and I want to ask you this before I politicize this a little bit, because I'm sure we're gonna go there. For those who aren't necessarily as familiar with Bad Bunny, like I'm familiar with him, I don't know any songs, but I'm excited. But for some people who may be on the fence, who may be saying, I don't know the words, I don't know how I'm gonna follow along, I don't know any songs. What say you to those who may be on the fence about tuning in? What can they gain from just checking this out and trying to have a good experience with this performance?
I mean, let's be fair. There has been Super Bowl performances that we've seen where we were unfamiliar with who they were even,
Yeah.
So this is not the first time nor the last. Take a seat back, learn. You don't need to know the words. This is not for you. This is for the world,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, I think that that is a funny thing for people to say. Like, if that is going to limit your experience, then baby, you have to have a meeting with yourself on that one,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's going to be great. And I seen a lot of comments like they don't want Bad Bunny to speak a lick of English. They have demands for Bad Bunny on social media. you
Mariah
know
said, "Me,
uh
sis, me."
I said that.
yes, no, a lot of people are saying it, right? But the thing is, don't forget the bad and Bad Bunny. He's gonna do what he's gonna do.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree. I love Bad Bunny. Do I know what he is saying? No. Boricua.
Neither do
No,
I.
but
And let me tell you, I'm 100% Puerto Rican, born and raised in New York,
Mm.
and my Espanol is very limited. But you best believe it's the energy that you feel. You don't need to know what somebody's saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about the experience. And it's gonna be one big party. I'm very sure of that.
oh my gosh, I'm a SZA fan. I don't know what she's saying half the time, and I love her
Let me
music.
tell you something.
Me too.
I love me some SZA, but this isn't about her. So let me redirect myself because I'll get excited. Y'all, can we just have a real moment right now? I got to just be upset about ICE. I got to be upset about that whole concept. So I was right. Shalom. See, I need to go back to the Mark 6:11 scripture that AJ Brown threw in his tweets to calm myself down. So Ivy, I got to get your thoughts on this because you mentioned the global impact, obviously, that Bad Bunny has, right? And now we have right wing, I don't even want to say, I'll say political pundits who are weighing in on this conversation. And I want to get your take on Trump's longtime advisor, Corey Lewandowski. Weird last name to begin with. But he called the Bad Bunny choice shameful. And he said the NFL has decided to pick somebody who seems to hate America so much. I'm very confused because the Super Bowl is literally the breeding ground for peace, harmony, and good vibes. So, what say you to the resistance from the right about Bad Bunny being a part of this? Which ain't their business anyway, in my opinion.
Um, I truly believe that what he has done is in response to the um, left cheek turning to Puerto Rico's cry for help.
Mm,
Puerto Rico has been in debt since they had that huge hurricane and trillions of dollars of debt. And if we are a part of America, where does America show up?
mm,
How has America shown up? Bad Bunny has arrived in a space where he goes, I got us, and created a residency where we had a tourism boom and it raised over 200 to 400 million dollars. There's not a exact price point, but it has been such a great help in restoring the financial need that Puerto Rico has been craving from America.
mm.
Right. So I don't, does that represent hate or does that represent love? I'm confused. Right. I don't think you need to come to America to make a statement for your land. And I'm speaking in like third person, but I think that because he is culturally aware of what has been happening with ICE,
Yeah.
You know, he has been making public statements about his nervousness about
Mm-hmm.
performing out here, and, you know, his shows being rated. You know, there has already been statements about ICE being outside of the stadium. Like,
Yeah.
that's very threatening behavior.
Yeah.
So when you talk about hate, let's talk about where it's actually coming from,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think it's coming from the big bad bunny.
Agreed. Agreed.
Agreed. I just want to say what an unfortunate thing that we have the number one most streamed male artist in the world
In the world.
performing at the Super Bowl. Number one, who else would you want it to be? Isn't that what it's supposed to be? When Michael
Exactly.
Jackson started this whole fiasco about big artists performing at the Super Bowl, they chose Michael Jackson because he was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Well, Bad Bunny is the number one most streamed artist in the world.
Yeah.
So just because he's Puerto Rican, now it's a political ploy, and it's so disappointing, and it's disheartening, and it's sad, and it's unfortunate. How unfortunate for Bad Bunny and Puerto Rican people that just existing and making music is politicized in a negative way simply because of the language you speak and where you're from.
Yeah.
He's a musical artist performing a musical performance at the Super Bowl, and y'all turned it into a hateful thing. So who's the hateful one? Because it doesn't look like it's Bad Bunny.
I'm so confused. And I'm also
Absolutely.
excited because SNL is coming.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot
yeah.
wait for him to host SNL. Ivy, I got to get your opinion on this. And they've been they've been on a hiatus for a while, so I'm looking forward to all that will ensue with this particular episode. But what are your thoughts on him being a part of SNL?
Well, you know, we have two of the most courageous artists premiering season 51 of SNL. We have Doja Cat and we have Bad Bunny, and both of them have been on the headlines for, you know, reasons where it causes concern or it causes applause.
Yeah.
Either way, I feel like that match is, you know, bizarre yet right.
Mm-hmm.
And I am just very I'm at the edge of my seat because I am very curious to see what Bad Bunny has to say. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's been doing his due diligence at one, learning the English language. Like years ago, you couldn't even have a conversation with that man. So now that he has brushed up on his English, I'm pretty sure that either he's A, gonna do a monologue in Spanish on purpose, or B, say a monologue in English and really like stand on business.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't know the direction this is gonna go. However, like I'm just I'm honestly full of pride, you know, because you know it he is such a he's just showing a real cultural statement. You know, I don't even think it's about being Puerto Rican. I think it's about standing up for yourself
Yeah.
and being unapologetic about it. You know, those are the things that stand out to me. Like, yes, the cherry on top is that he's Puerto Rican, right? Yes, the cherry on top is that he's going to be at the Super Bowl. He's worked his way and earned his way to that stage. Um, and he's getting so many great opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
but he is really a creative pioneer and just deserving of this moment. So that's the angle that I'm embracing this moment in.
Is this going to be a stepping stone for the NFL to have more positive moments like this?
Mm.
Because this isn't a first time thing for the NFL for the fans to be up in outrage about
Yeah.
diversity, which is
Yeah.
hilarious. Look at the players.
Right.
Right.
But I'm hoping it's a stepping stone to something more positive. Obviously, Apple Music is the Apple Music halftime show. A lot of people on social media are wondering, is this halftime show really about making a statement, a stand to the man, or is it just a marketing ploy for Apple releasing AirPods that translate in your ear? I mean, what do you think?
I mean, even the way that you guys giggled at the question, we all know the answers to that, right? Like it's honestly just divine timing. I don't think that Apple sat down in the office and was like, this is the greatest marketing strategy of all time. We're going to have Bad Bunny perform at the Super Bowl so that we could promote this product. I think that's a big budget for a headphone. You know,
Right.
yes, it's very innovative, right? And I think that also Bad Bunny is smart enough to know like how to play this game. So maybe they're in cahoots, but I truly don't think, I could be wrong, but my gut tells me that I don't think they're using Bad Bunny per
Right.
se,
I mean,
right?
he's not a charity case. He's the number one most streamed
Yeah,
artist in the
yeah,
world.
yeah,
But I'll say the game is the driver. Him being there is the
for sure.
driver. But if I'm Apple, I'm absolutely going to find ways to take advantage of that. And I
Yeah,
say
I
that
mean,
I've
as you
worked
should.
in
That's a
branded
smart
content
thing
for
to do.
years. Yeah, I've worked in branded content for years. So it would be to Apple's detriment to not go crazy and make sure that they're taking advantage of the moment. But I gotta agree with you guys. Like,
They need to
he's not
send
desperate.
PR packages of them headphones
Oh,
to all
let me
them
tell
right
you.
wingers that are complaining about the
When I
fact they don't
tell you,
understand the show.
when I tell you, and then send them little tapes. We don't even do tapes anymore. Bring them tapes because they act old school. They act like we're in the 40s and 50s. And when was VHS? In the 80s? They act like we're back there anyway. Take some tapes and have them all, whatever content's happening, that's not in English. All different languages, and send boxes of headphones to them and say, listen to this.
Absolutely. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. And you know, Apple is a brand of integrity at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, I do not see them going that far. Um, but yeah, like, great timing. Run it up, Apple. Run it up.
I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah.
I'm one of those who hopes he doesn't even say hello in English. So we'll see what happens. But Ivy, thank you so much for joining us and giving your perspective. I'm so excited to see Bad Bunny.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure, ladies. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think at
Sis.
least we got warmed up because I'm about to give you something a little more controversial.
Let me tell you something, because I'm triggered and happy at the same time.
Right.
It's quite fascinating. I'm in a different place, but I am excited about the finals. WNBA finals. Tip off is tonight. We got the Mercury, we got the Aces. Before we take a deep dive and kind of reflect on how the Aces specifically got here, who you got?
Wow. Our audience definitely has the Aces. I believe 70% of y'all said that the Aces are going to win the finals. Everybody knows Asia Wilson. That's my twin in them. I was her in my past life. Yes. However, I do want the Aces to win. That's what I want to happen. But the Mercury, I feel like, are getting a little bit slept on in this equation. Them knocking out the Lynx, I don't think people who don't watch women's basketball know
Right.
what a big deal that is. The Lynx were the favorites all season long, even when Napheesa Collier was out with an injury. That's the reason Asia Wilson won the MVP, is because they were so good even without their star.
Yeah.
And they were without their star player and their coach in an elimination game with a lot of controversy surrounding them. I'm not saying that's why the Mercury won, but they are a very talented team that looks completely different from the legacy of the Mercury that we're used to seeing. And I could very well see them pulling this off, especially with all of the flaws I saw from the Aces in that Fever series.
We are here. And I'll use the Aces Fever series to kind of ground us and take us back to your commentary. So if Kelsey Mitchell doesn't go out with extreme cramping, whether Aaliyah plays or not, whether she fouls out or not, I actually think the Fever would have won that game. Here's the deal. I love the Aces as well. I love Asia Wilson. They are packed with stars. Their defense needs a lot of work. And if you watched Game 5 specifically, there were some defensive breakdowns that happened down the stretch, fourth quarter through overtime, that I was absolutely disappointed by. I think it was nice to see other players on the Aces step up also offensively, but it also speaks to how much Asia Wilson is relied upon on both sides of the ball. And if the Phoenix Mercury can have real strategy around how to contain her, I'm not sure the other players, the Jackie Youngs, the Chelsea Grays, the Jewel Lloyds, can be consistent enough to be able to pull it through. I want it for them. To be able to lose by 50 and come back and win 14 plus games in a row, that's a big deal, and I'm an Aces fan. But defensively, I'm concerned, and from an offensive output perspective, I think we're a little too Asia heavy. So I'm with you. The Mercury right now are playing with such passion. Nobody's stopping Alyssa Thomas at all. She
Oh, at
literally
all.
does whatever she wants to do. And because she's a walking almost triple-double at any point in time, I'm interested to see how they're going to contain her as well.
And not to mention she's physical. And
Scrappy and going to get down to it.
And Asia gets frustrated with that. She was so frustrated with Leah Boston. I said that Leah Boston was rage baiting her the entire time. I saw a different side to Leah Boston this whole playoffs. I was like, whoa, elbow throwing and making people push her and pushing.
She does that all the time, Mariah.
But this is where it got different. This is where it got different. The talking. Like, she used to be, I feel like she didn't talk as much, but even like, well, Holly, we're professionals, so, we're figured out. Like, she has a different type of attitude. The Asia having a special whistle, and that worked because it pissed her off. She brought it back up. So, I agree with you. I thought that some things during that Fever series, and they weren't even a full Fever team.
Right.
Like, had they had all those players, so many players that players are sitting in the second row with the fans, had they had some of those players, things would have looked very differently.
Yeah.
I'm worried. And Asia Wilson was not only the MVP, she was the co-defensive player of the year. So like you said, they're relying a lot on her. When is that going to pile up and stack up? You can't win with one player. The guards got to step up.
This is what the finals is about, to determine how good of a team the Aces are. And I think the Mercury right now are showing that they're a better team. But again, I want the Aces to win. I love everything about them. I think the polls that we took with the highest percentage, saying the Aces, it makes perfect sense. But if you look at how these last few games have gone, or just this Fever series alone for the Aces, I would be concerned if I'm an Aces fan.
We need to see Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young do what they did in overtime of that game.
Yeah.
Make big shots, have big moments, show up when they're needed most, so that Asia Wilson isn't just like the golden goose the entire time with everybody targeting her, because that's going to be a problem.
Absolutely. And also it leads to fatigue. If you noticed, there were 2 big defensive mistakes she made down the stretch in Game 5. And I think part of that is just being exhausted. So y'all better do y'all thing.
I hope so, because what this would do for her legacy, like winning another championship the same year she was Defensive Player of the Year and MVP when they were a 500 team.
Yeah.
Would be, I want to see that for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Speaking of things we want to see.
Girl.
Let's talk about Napheesa Collier and her exit interview, because it has shaken the world. She sounded off on the future of the league and the leadership of the league, stating that they have, quote, the worst leadership in the world. I need your reaction to this exit interview.
And before my reaction, we're going to show y'all right now. Take a look at this.
I'm concerned about the future of our sport. At some point, everyone deserves to hear the truth from someone who I hope has earned the benefit of the doubt to fight for what is right and fair for our athletes and our fans. We have the best players in the world. We have the best fans in the world. But right now, we have the worst leadership in the world.
Girl, let me clutch my pearls. You got stuff. That's not really pearls, but if I could wear what you got on, I would clutch that. I'm actually here for it. We are at a tipping point in this league, and no better person to have this conversation than Napheesa Collier. And I think people forget the leverage that she has alone from having a successful league and unrivaled gives her all the say in the world. And I think if this would have come from other folks, the reactions probably wouldn't be as prevalent. But I'm actually proud of her. And I think this really speaks to where we are. The WNBA period, we cannot afford, the league is doing so well, Mariah, but we can't afford a lockout. And when we look at what's happening, the CBA is still not where it needs to be. There's no agreement in place. We're now in the finals of the WNBA season, and players are this discontented, and now more are coming out stating their displeasure following her comments. I'm greatly concerned, but I'm also very proud of her, because at this point, this is what it would take to get the change that they need, that they deserve.
Kathy Engelbert is proving to be, because of this whole situation, a speed bump in the progress of women's basketball. Mm-hmm. And that needs to go.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be dramatic when I say that. I truly believe that, because Fee is not lying. And Kathy proved that in her counter to this, her statement where she says, it's so disheartening to see that she feels this way about me. No, I didn't say that about Caitlin Clark. No denial. No, she said it. 100%, because Napheesa Collier was very specific. She was very eloquent. She didn't raise her voice. She was very respectful. She came with a written statement with her proof and her quotes,
Yeah.
and she knew exactly what she was talking about.
Yeah.
And what she did when she did that is, Fee is not somebody who speaks out of turn, right? When she speaks, people listen because she means what she says.
Yeah.
And we can see in the reaction from the players that they respect her. And what she did was hit the red button. She sat in that meeting with Kathy, and she heard the things that she said about Caitlin Angel Page. She heard the things that she said about only the losers complain about officiating. And she just waited to hit that red button. And she hit it.
I think it's interesting how irresponsible she is. And it's like everybody's hollering in libraries. Nobody's using their inside voice anymore. No conversations are out of bounds. And it's a dangerous game to play. I don't think she's going to step down, though. I don't. And based, again, on the apology, not even an apology, it was very, I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings vibes. But she's not, guys. She has to be forced out. And I think Napheesa was speaking not only to her, but to the system, to the people that have the opportunity to say, girl, get on out of here. That's what I think is the bigger thing. But what if she stays? Which she probably will. What happens? And I think that's a part of the conversation we're not necessarily diving into, because this league still has to move forward regardless.
The WNBA is definitely playing chess when it comes to the CBA negotiations.
Yeah.
I cannot understand the reluctance to pay the players. Can't understand it. I genuinely, I feel like Napheesa Collier was so valid to have this point because she created what the WNBA is not. And
A whole other league.
that is paying
That
the
paid
players.
them more.
And not even that. People always get so lost in the pay conversation that they don't even
Accommodations, all types of
realize
things.
practice facilities.
Yes.
I talked to Lexi Brown from the LA Sparks when she was playing there. She plays for Seattle now. She was so happy to go to Seattle just to have a place to shoot around whenever she felt like it, to stay in the gym late. Because she told me when she was playing for the Sparks, they were all working out with their own trainers in different gyms. How can you be a good team when everybody got a different trainer?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense. You should be able to go into a gym and practice with your teammates. And my main thing with the WNBA is this. What really disappoints me as somebody who loves basketball, why are the college players doing better than the pros? The dream should be to go to the pros.
Yeah.
The dream should not be, I got to stay in college just one more
Yeah,
year to get
yeah.
this NIL bag.
Yeah.
Because the college players, college volleyball players, not just basketball, college players are flying in private planes to their
Yes,
games. And
yes.
they have facilities and nutritionists and saunas and this and that and tutors and anything they can imagine. They snap their fingers and they get it. Could you imagine being a top prospect and coming out of college and going to the WNBA and not having a practice facility?
And flying coach and all types of other things. And that's the thing. I'm glad you bring this up, because a lot of times with this conversation, people go right to the money. It's also about accommodations. It's about officiating, which I think is abysmal in the WNBA. Absolutely unacceptable. It's also about head coaches. And you mentioned this just last week when you talked about the majority of the league is black women. There are no longer any black female head coaches in the WNBA. That's problematic. So there's all these other things that play into the discontent that need to be addressed. But I absolutely can't imagine it. And I don't think they're asking for much. And when you look at that multi-billion-dollar deal that got signed and the fact that there's expansion teams on the way, there's money. There's money, guys.
Right. And if you don't feel like it's sustainable to pay your players your product, the only thing, you won't got no league without the players.
Right.
If you don't think it's sustainable to pay them, you need to find out where the money's coming from to market it properly so it becomes sustainable. Because you can't have a sustainable league and you not paying you can't have a sustainable league where Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers are getting paid $60,000 a year.
It makes
don't make
absolutely no sense.
What is your reaction to that comment? Because I just got to know, that comment was the one that got me. And Fee, shout out to you for bringing that up.
Why are you talking about this girl's pockets with someone else? Why are you even doing that? And to your point, grateful. How, Sway? She's getting $60K from you and millions over here. She was going to get the exposure regardless. Angel's going to get the exposure regardless. Paige is going to get it regardless. The deals aren't going to stop. And if you don't want to pay them and they decide I'm going to go elsewhere, they'll go somewhere else and still make the money. That's the attitude about it. They don't owe you anything. The league owes them everything. They go out and they play hard every night. under whatever conditions that we just talked about, many of them adverse. The league, they don't, oh, thank you so much. It's very coming to America. I'm very happy to be here. No, they don't owe that to you.
I think people get up in arms when I say stuff like this, but let's keep it a buck, y'all. Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Those three are bigger than the program.
Absolutely.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Because they were bigger than the program before they got there. Their fame did not come from the WNBA. Their fame came from LSU, UConn, and Iowa, of all places.
Yeah.
It don't got nothing to do with the WNBA. You should be, as Kathy allegedly put it, on your knees thanking your lucky stars that they even want to play there because the big three was trying to give Caitlin millions to play there.
Yeah.
So what do you mean? I am amazed by this, but I'm curious what you think about the future and how this will apply to players like Juju Watkins, who is sitting out currently with an injury that broke my heart.
Yeah.
What do you think Juju's impact, if she decides to go to the league, because we don't know what's going to happen, what is her impact going to be on this whole conversation?
Total pun intended. Juju needs to take a page out of Paige Becker's book and stay put. Stay put, get healthy, try to win a championship. She's a winner. She wants to win. And I think she owes that to herself to stay put. Flage, we're watching her do it right now. It's not just a monetary thing. It's also when we're looking at where the league is right, it's shaky. It's no sense in jumping the gun. So I would say stay. I think if the league was in a better place, if the CBA was in place, if we didn't have all this controversy, do what you need to do, sis. Because ultimately, you want to be a pro. Like, that's why they do this. You want to play professional basketball. But right now, I would say stay. And I think as the league is kind of at this tipping point, other players, if you're in a position where you got another year, take it. I think Flage, I go back to her, and I know we're talking about Juju, but I think she stayed because she saw this coming. And I said this before. This is not the first time these conversations have happened. We knew the CBA needed to be agreed upon last year. So we already knew we were coming to this point. We were hoping there would be a resolution. So I would say, Juju, get healthy, stay put, go for a championship. Wouldn't it be great to be able to come into the WNBA saying I'm a national champion? So
Amen.
I say stay.
Amen. And you don't come into the WNBA and go straight to the best team. So
let me tell you, she's going to the worst team possible because she will be the number one pick in the WNBA draft.
So you might as well win your championship while you got it, because my defense for Angel Reese is always, well, she won a championship already in college. She's a winner.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on in Chicago, but she was sure a winner in Louisiana. Let's transition over to the NBA because moves are being made. I'm so excited for it to be back. October, the fall weather's coming, the NBA is coming. I love it. But what is your opinion? Because we had a little production call where we talked a little bit about this, but we saved it for y'all. About Al Horford signing a multi-year deal with none other than the Golden State Warriors.
I've been excited to talk to you about this for the last few days. On a base level, I think it's great. I love Al Horford. I really do. I think he's meant so much to the league. And when we think about durability, he's 39. He just turned 39 in June. LeBron will be 41 this year. We don't talk enough about Al Horford's durability and longevity in this league. And I think this is an opportunity for us to shout him out. So I think that's great. When we think about the pieces that the Golden State Warriors are putting in place, and we pair that with Horford being 39 years old, and Draymond still being there, God bless him. I'm not sure. I think the backcourt is very strong, but front court-wise, I am concerned about how the Golden State Warriors will fare, more so as we move closer into the postseason. But I'm happy for him. He's still playing. He's showing everybody what's possible past 36 years old. Because just some years ago, people thought, it's time to stop. They're 36, they're 37, it's time to stop. He's like, no, I'm 39. Multi-year? This isn't a one-off, guys. He's going to be there for a while. So I'm happy about it, but I don't know what it means for the team from a wins and losses column standpoint. Still on the fence.
The absolute last thing, again, I'm Steph Curry's biggest fan in the world. I'm a Steph defender. That is like my GOAT. I know he's not the GOAT, but he's mine.
He's one of mine, actually.
Yes,
he's
100%.
One of mine.
I love Steph Curry. I am a part-time Warriors fan when the Hawks inevitably lose in the playoffs. However, the last thing the Warriors needed was to get older. The last thing they needed. My question is, why are we always, it's like the Georgia quarterback conversation we had earlier. Why are we always saying the same? They need a big. They just need to get bigger. They need to get bigger, but we didn't mean bigger and older. Let's be honest. That's something I personally would like to see. Where's Giannis? Get him up out of Milwaukee. I'm sorry, everybody gets so mad at me when I say that, but get him up out of Milwaukee, put him with Steph Curry. That's what I'm trying to see. This doesn't excite me, and I don't mean to be negative because again, shout out Al Horford. Good for you, bro. But this isn't. I'm not. Yes, their championship. They got Steph's brother and they got Al Horford and they're going to the champ. No, this doesn't excite me.
But people love storylines. It's really cute, isn't it? Like Seth's there and Al Horford is there. Jimmy Butler's still there. Draymond is there and he's gonna be Draymond. The gang is getting back together.
Girl.
GP2 re-signed. It's a beautiful, beautiful story.
It's
family
like
and connection.
The Warriors playbook is, okay, things aren't working. We got to maximize Steph Curry. What do? Okay, let's get smaller. Small ball. It's working. That worked for us before. Let's do that again. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Are any superstars available? Jimmy Butler. Let Jimmy bring him in. Kevin Durant, call him back. I know he didn't answer us last time. Let's call him back. LeBron, call him back. At least it'll sell tickets. I mean, and then when all else fails, who's the oldest guy we can think of? I mean, storylines, people. Y'all, what are we doing? It's the same thing over and over and over. It's insanity.
You know it's cute though. The people they're gonna come to the games. It's gonna be a topic of discussion like it is right now. And again, I'm with you. It's not to be negative, but they're gonna be competitive. I think they're gonna play well, but staying healthy. Even when we saw Steph, like towards the end of the season, couldn't make it. So from a durability, longevity standpoint, health standpoint, you might have some problems on your hands. Now you got vets that know how to win. So there's value there. And hopefully they can help to bring some of the younger guys along so they can come in and make an impact on the game as well. I think if you're able to do that, if you're able to really energize the younger guys and get them to play well, that will be their legitimate shot. But if they lean too heavily into these vets, I don't think it's going to fare well for them as we move closer to the postseason.
I'm so glad you said that because my whole thing with the NBA this season is super team, build a team workshop is over. You have to start by drafting well, holding on to these pieces, building around a star you see potential in, having patience with this star that you see potential in.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City Thunder, Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. That is the new recipe to winning a championship. It's patience.
Yeah.
And these NBA teams, I'm looking at you, Golden State, do not have that. And that's how they got to this point, was they're homegrown, the Steph, the Clay of it all, relying on younger guys, giving them a chance. I think that would be the key for them. But if that don't work, call Giannis.
This one, I like the idea of Giannis as a quick fix because Steph is older. He's 37, I believe. So he's on the back end of his career as well. I do think he wants to be happy and I think he wants to have fun. And I think he wants to be around certain players in order to do that. So I think that's part of this. But to your point, we are past the super team era. I'm actually grateful for it. And OKC is the biggest and brightest example of why it's over with. Having a successful season in Golden State also doesn't put them in the best position draft-wise. So when Steph is out of there, it's going to be interesting to see how they fare in general. But I'm tracking with you. Again, we want y'all to do well. We love the Golden State War. We're here for it. We are fans, okay? We're here for it. And you all obviously aren't too old because you're on the court, okay? Al Horford, we want you. We love you. We think you're great. We just got some concerns.
Now, we did do a poll because we mentioned the Seth Curry of it all about which is your favorite family duo in the NBA, and the choices were Giannis and Thanasis Antetokounmpo, Giannis and his bodyguard, okay?
Right, exactly.
Paul and Marc Gasol, Marcus and Markieff Morris, and LeBron and Bronny James. And the winner was Thanasis and Giannis.
So odd. What are y'all doing? Are you okay? Are y'all all right?
I don't know. I that's sending me because if I were Giannis, I would be the same. Listen, my sister gonna play on this team too. I gotta be here
wouldn't
every day.
even vote for him and his brother in this poll.
Honestly real. Speaking of the super team era, you know where I'm going. Everybody in the room knows where I'm going with this one. Let's talk Kevin Durant. So he says, I've never heard this one before. He plans on signing an extension and staying put in Houston with the Rockets. You buying it?
I guess. I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic this year as we're moving into the fourth quarter and through. I'm working on my optimism. The Lord's been dealing with me. So sure, why not? Because at this point, he has absolutely nothing to lose. It was such a disappointment to watch what happened in Phoenix. So with Jalen Green out of the picture, this is your opportunity. You've got great coaching there. You got some young guns that have got some experience underneath them. They played well in the playoffs, in my opinion, considering their level of experience. Go forth and prosper. I would like to know your thoughts. You feel a little skeptical to me in your spirit.
Fred VanVleet isn't playing. I should answer your question. I mean, that they are doomed for this season. Same thing with I said about Tua. KD, go ahead and take a little seat. Watch, figure out what's going on, take an eye. You might as well. And KD isn't like Steph and the other OGs of the NBA because he's had a couple years off. So I feel like his body is a couple years younger than these other guys. And just get another year younger to sit next to Fred, get some fits off. Look, I think they have great coaching.
Yeah.
They looked great in the playoffs against the Warriors. Super physical, great defense, super young, very athletic. I'm excited, honestly, about what they got in Houston, and I was very optimistic about it until they lost their point guard. So now I'm like, I don't know about that one.
You got a point.
So
but
we'll
maybe
see.
Someone will step up, though.
So he better sign that extension or he ain't going to be playing with Fred. That's what he signed up for. So I think KD has, like you said, nothing to lose. People love Houston. I mean, KD, he likes to be out and tweet and look at the TV, So I hope he has a good time in Houston. I hope things go well, but I'm not really,
You just feel blah.
Who cares?
It's cute. It's nice to talk about,
Who cares? I mean, if I were KD, I would just keep pissing y'all off. I would just move to every team I could. I'm playing for the Knicks. I'm playing for the Lakers. I'm going to try to check all of my boxes. I'm going to play with every star.
No, because I think that's the thing. People are waiting for KD to lead a team to the ship, to lead them to the promised land.
Right, and he doesn't care.
I know, but we still want him to do it. Wouldn't it be cool? That's the only when we think about his level of greatness and his reputation in the league and ultimately what his legacy will be. I just feel like that'll be an asterisk. Like he didn't lead a team to the promised land. If he can do that, we're having a different conversation about him.
100%. I don't believe him when he says he doesn't care, but he says it. So I hope that happens for him. But if it doesn't, like he says, I'm a scoring champion and I'm an MVP and I've won
accolades.
Championships. And so, go ahead, KD, go on with it. But let's get into something that I feel like we will differ a little bit upon because I know you have a very strong feeling about LeBron James. So we got to end off this our last segment.
Where's the smoke machine? I didn't say I was here for the smoke.
I need you to tell the people your hot take about LeBron James.
Wait a minute. I wasn't prepared for this. Look, I'm going. It's Friday, okay, everybody? I'm going to be as politically correct as I can be.
Amen.
My words still get jumbled up when I talk about LeBron James. First of all, he's one of the greatest players to ever play this game. Period. I respect his game. I also respect what he's done off the basketball court. He's a phenom. He's an anomaly. He's not my GOAT, but he's the GOAT of several other people. Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is the greatest player to ever play the game. And I actually have Steph Curry above LeBron James and Kobe Bryant, but I digress. I understand LeBron has gotten several individual awards as he has earned them. This is just my personal opinion. This is the thing about LeBron that I'm a little weary of. The last several years, are you coming back? Are you coming back? Are you going to come back? I don't know. I mean, we're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. Like, I'm tired of the we gon' sees. I think it's very cool and incredible that this man will be 41 years old in December and he's still playing at an extremely high level and still has the potential, if your boy can get his defense under control, to actually possibly win a championship in LA. They're going to do well. So there's no LeBron hate here. He still's got a chance. But I'm tired of sitting on the edge of my seat for the last 3-4 years about is he coming back. I'm just over it. I think it's great that Bronny is thriving. The G League was great for him. I think he's going to have a good year. I'm still on the fence about how his career will fare post LeBron James. Not sure yet, but I just farewell tour. I believe, and again, I'm not trying to tell him what to do. In my opinion, it would be nice if it happened next season. But if it doesn't, it is what it is. Play to your 1,000. I don't care.
But listen, when it comes to what you said about the GOAT debate, and we are not going to have that because I think it's so tired. But I will say my opinion on that is there's a difference between being the greatest of all time and being the best basketball player we've ever seen. In my opinion, LeBron James is the best basketball player I've ever seen. LeBron James in his prime, come on. LeBron. Take everything out of it. LeBron, even like his genetics. LeBron is the best basketball player I've ever seen.
How? What are you basing that on?
Oh my gosh, his talent.
See, I lean to the mic. What are you basing it on?
Oh my gosh, his talent.
talent?
Yes. That's the chosen one. Quit playing with me.
I'm going to DM you Michael Jordan highlights for the entire weekend.
Oh my gosh, I've seen them.
Weekend.
I've seen
the
them.
entire
We're not even gonna get into we're not even going to get into the lowlights I've also seen of things back then, because they make it seem like everybody was just beating each other up, and there were some moments where I'm like, y'all just standing around, whatever. But
what? Mariah, don't you do this. We've been having such a great time.
I know. But Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time because he's a winner. He has what Kobe also had, that instinctive, I will run through you and I will run up into the stands and tackle your mama if it's what it needs to be done for me to win.
Yeah.
LeBron just don't have that. He's a nice guy. He just simply does not have that. He has the skill, he has the talent, but he's not about to whoop you to win and the stick his tongue out in your face and look at you and like the Kobe stories people have. You ain't gonna get that with LeBron. He's a nice guy, but he's very talented. And so that's why Michael Jordan did what's the impossible, I feel like now, and three-peated twice. That's crazy.
With the same team.
Yeah, that's insane. So I will give him that. Greatest of all time. In the retirement conversation, I like to see people go out while it's hot.
I agree.
I don't want to see LeBron struggling to walk up and down the court. I don't want to see his knees buckling because LeBron's about to be around for a really long time. He is the face of basketball around the world. He's LeBron James. So I don't really want to see him have his post-basketball media career and he can't even stand up. I'm not trying to see that. So I do want him to go out while he's still on top. I think that he deserves a farewell tour, but I also think he's a little bit too dramatic to allow us to give him one. I think it's just going to be an I'm out.
You think so after that third quarter stop down when he got the scoring record? I think it's going to be a fiesta. It's going to be a party every game when he decides he's going to soak it all in.
Oh my gosh,
Did we forget about that? They stopped the whole game to celebrate and have speeches. He loves attention.
That's true. But maybe it'll be like right before the All-Star game. You know how they stopped it to give that ceremony for Ernie and Kenny and Chuck and Shaq? Maybe they'll do something like that. Like
Too small for him. We're going big time. Too small for him. And honestly, if we really think about it, he deserves it.
He deserves
it. But I'm with you too because the older we get, the more prone we are to injury. I think it is a miracle he has not had a major injury in his career. As he moves through that, the likelihood of him getting hurt, like we saw with a Kobe, it increases. I don't want it for him at all. That's my bigger concern for him, is that, to your point, we'll watch him go off limping because something happened. I don't want it for him at all. I want him to leave out on top just like you. But that piece is a concern for me.
Do you think LeBron will be teammates with Bryce?
Why are we talking about Bryce James in the NBA and he averaged 8 points in high school? And this is no shade, but give this man time for his game to develop. And I get nepotism. I get the excitement. Again, it's a really great storyline. Both of his sons are going to be in the NBA. Why are we putting this man in the NBA right now? He hasn't even played a collegiate game. We have no proof of concept. It's cool to talk about, but I wish as like journalists, this is something we could bring up after we've seen him play and do really well at the collegiate level. We have no proof of concept. Would it be great? I wish Bryce and Bronny the best. And if the NBA is in Bryce's future, that's amazing. But give this man space. That's too much pressure. Not necessarily on LeBron, but on him. Let this man go to college, have the experience, grow, develop, and then we can talk about this in a year or two. It's too early.
Shari, we do have proof of concept. His other son averaged 4 points in college, and he on the Lakers with a guaranteed deal.
But he did not average 4 points in high school.
That's a good point. If we talking about high school to get in the NBA, what are we talking about right now?
Exactly.
So ridiculous.
We're so dramatic.
I can't with it. Now, I will say, I find it interesting as we close. I find it interesting that the excuse that I see journalists or talking heads on TV give when they talk about the fact that Bronny is in the NBA on a guaranteed deal and living his best life and I won't travel with the G League, you know, that whole thing. The excuse is, well, look at what LeBron has done for the NBA, right? They owe him. Which they do. If he wants Zuri in the NBA, they gonna put her in it because they do owe him. But look at the way they treat the women. Because
you want to have a whole show after this.
Right.
You wanna have a whole other episode
I think
right
it's
after this.
funny we see the NBA is like, you want your son in the league? Sure. We'll take it. Does Savannah want to play? We'll take everybody because of what you've done for us. Where would the NBA be right now without LeBron James or Steph Curry?
Got a point.
And the NBA pays them accordingly, treats them accordingly, stops games in the middle just to say, hey, you broke the scoring record. You're so great, LeBron. We love you. And the commissioner of the WNBA looks her golden goose straight in the face and says, you making 16 mil because of me. You should be on your knees thanking your lucky stars. That's all I got to say on the subject.
You want to trigger me. You want me to get upset as we close. You want me to end angry. You are exactly right. And I'm going to take this one step further, and I won't belabor us. But it's not just that. It's also the social perceptions that people are not putting men and women's sports in the same conversation, on the same playing field. Athletes are athletes. So if, from a social standpoint, people don't even see them as equal, how can we even think, how can we expect front office folks in the WNBA or the women's leagues to view them as equal? This is also a societal issue that is now infiltrated into leagues like the WNBA, and we're seeing it front and center. And it's sad because the leadership is women. But that just shows you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
I was going to say the same thing. Kathy Engelbert is the commissioner of the WNBA because she was the first female CEO of a Big Four firm in the United States, which I can imagine climbing that corporate ladder wasn't so easy. And she experienced a lot of comments like the ones she made to Napheesa Collier. So, well, as y'all can see, we could talk about this all day.
Literally. I'm DMing you, texting you, and I might throw a phone call your way over the weekend.
I'm sending voice memos.
Because I still have more to say.
Another thing. Honestly, this was so much fun.
Yeah, I had a
Thank you
blast.
for being our first guest on Revolt Sports Weekly. I had a
you.
great time with
Yeah.
you. Y'all, make sure you keep it locked here and you subscribe to Revolt Sports on YouTube and follow us on Instagram to be a part of the conversation and the polls I was reading out today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.